What is going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with another Cleveland Browns video for you guys. As of course, today was the official start of Browns Rookie MiniCamp, which meant we finally got to see Mason Graham, Shedeur Sanders, and all the other rookies on the field for the first time as members of the Cleveland Browns. And as you'd imagine, there was a lot of buzz surrounding the training facility in Berea because Shedeur Sanders, the 5th round pick that many people had going 2nd overall just a few months ago, was finally on the field, and we got to see him throwing passes in a Browns uniform, rocking the orange dome. And I'll tell you what, it was fun. He was throwing darts left and right, man. I see what they were saying when the people, mainly Colorado fans, media, were saying he was arguably the most accurate quarterback in college football. Now, again, it's only rookie minicamp, only day one. There really wasn't any defense being played, right? But it's cool to see him throwing darts like that. You know, he looked confident. Not bad for your first day, right? First time he's thrown a football not in a Colorado Buffalo uniform. That's crazy, isn't it? First time he was on a football field without his dad looking over his shoulder. Yeah, looks good. Not too bad. But of course, what I can't wait for is training camp. Because then we'll see Shedeur possibly throwing passes to Jerry Jeudy, Deontay Johnson, David Njoku, Cedric Tillman, maybe some other guys we bring in, because you know Andrew Berry's always looking. And that receiving core is still kind of doo-doo if you ask me. I'm not going to say any names, but I'm sure you guys can think of a couple receivers that I think the Browns could potentially go looking at on the market. One of them was just released a few days ago. Yep. Not going to say any names, but you know who I'm talking about. Yep. Now, one thing that really got Browns fans riled up was the rookie numbers. As pulling up the rookie numbers, mostly nothing too crazy, right? You know, Mason Graham wearing 94. Okay. Schlesinger wearing 49. All right, dope. Fineen wearing 88. Jordan Akins' number. Okay, cool. Dylan Gabriel wearing 5. Dope. Alan Sampson wearing 22. Cool number. But the two number announcements that got the most buzz, of course, Quinshon Judkins wearing 10 and Shedeur Sanders wearing 12. Now, the reason why is simple. For Judkins, well, MJ Emerson has number 1. And, well, the Browns have a rule that non-QB rookies cannot wear single-digit numbers. So Quinshon can try next year to take number 1, but we'll see. Now, when it comes to Shedeur, and this one really got people riled up, number 2 was taken by DeAndre Carter, who is slated to be the Browns' returner. So as you'd imagine on Instagram, you know, Colorado fans took to the comment section, and they were like, yo, DeAndre, how about you give up that number 2, though? Oh, man. Yeah, they reacted accordingly. Honestly, Shedeur wearing 12. It's different, right? Not to mention, didn't he work with Tom Brady, you know, in college and stuff? Going up through the ranks when he was with Jackson State? I think so. And someone else figured this out. 12 squared. 144. Where Shedeur was picked. Coincidence? I think not. I think he could rock 12 hella hard, right? He's always been known as number 2. Well, now he's number 12. Not gonna lie. He looks dope in 12. Only thing that sucks is I have a old Johnny Manziel jersey that I was going to repurpose for Shedeur. But, yeah, well, it is what it is. Maybe he'll switch to number 2 next year when DeAndre Carter go bye-bye. Because he's only here for 1 year. But overall, those are the numbers. And of course, as it says on the bottom of the graphic, subject to change. And we'll see if they do. Now, one other thing we got to talk about, unfortunately, is the Nick Chubb situation. Because if you've been on Twitter, and if you're a Browns fan, you know, even if you're not a Browns fan, and you've been on Twitter, you've probably seen Browns fans openly, essentially on their hands and knees, begging, no, pleading with Andrew Berry to please bring back Nick Chubb. Well, sorry to rain on your parade, but it sounds like it's probably not going to happen, as Andrew Berry was on the radio earlier today on 92.3 The Fan with Ken Carman and Anthony Lima, and this is essentially what he had to say. As from Daniel Oifusi on Twitter, and I quote, Browns GM Andrew Berry told at Ken Carman and at Sportsboy Tony, Anthony Lima, on at 92.3 The Fan this morning that a return to Cleveland for running back Nick Chubb is, quote unquote, increasingly unlikely in the short term. But he wouldn't rule anything out. So essentially, right now, probably no, but you never know. Right? I mean, let's say the Browns are cooking, you know, mid-season, going in, you know, maybe a potential playoff push, and they need an extra back. Maybe Jerome Ford stinks, or maybe he got hurt or something, and they need a little extra from the running back room, so they hit up old Nick Chubb, and my dude's on the plane before they're even, you know, done with the phone call. I don't know. But not going to lie, though, I think Nick Chubb wants to play like he was before the injury, and coming to Cleveland to be a number 3 back, that doesn't suit him. He wants to be the guy. Not going to lie, though, he would be an amazing third down back with the Browns. Short yardage, bulldozer type back. I know it would do wonders for his legs. He would be fresh because they really wouldn't use him much. But honestly, I saw the writing on the wall. One, when the Browns drafted not 1, but 2 running backs. And they're both absolute dogs in their own right. Quinshawn, damn bulldozer. He's like freaking Nick Chubb 2.0. And Dylan Sampson, he's the freaking lightning guy. Right? And the lightning and thunder combo. He'll gash you up and then freaking, they got the gash and smash. You know, Sampson will gash you up, and Judkins will just run right through you. And then you have Jerome Ford, who will just run sideline to sideline, and occasionally he'll run up the middle for a big gain, but mostly sideline to sideline. And Pierre Strong is mainly just a pass catcher out of the backfield. Okay. But it doesn't sound likely that Nick Chubb will be back, which makes me sad. And I can tell you right now, that Schefter or Rappaport tweet announcing that Nick Chubb is signing elsewhere, that's going to hit me right in the soul, man. It's going to hit me like a freaking, I don't even know, man. Oh, God. I don't even want to think about that. It would hurt. Like a kick in the balls. Pretty much. Oh, well, but that's the way the NFL is, right? Now, talking a little bit more about Rookie MiniCamp here. The Browns announced that they have signed 13 undrafted free agents. Now, there's not really any big names. There's a few names that kind of interest me, right? I mean, Lamarian James, right? Corner. Okay, out of TCU. Easton Mascarenas Arnold, linebacker out of SoCal, Southern Cal, USC. Okay. Donovan McMillan, a safety out of Pitt. I heard he's really good. I think he was the first guy we signed. But really, there's nobody that jumps out at you. You know, there was nobody that should have been drafted that we managed to, you know, get via undrafted free agency. Because those guys usually want a lot of money and they want to play. So, yeah. Nobody like that this year. Now, getting into some other things here. The Browns actually already signed 2 of their rookies, as Daniel Oyefusi came back with this, and I quote, "The Browns have signed linebacker Carson Schlesinger and running back Dylan Sampson to their rookie contracts." So they're ready to go. And then we got a little Chris Easterling tweet talking about Shedeur Sanders being one of the last guys on the field, which just shows you his work ethic, right? He's always going to take the initiative and get that extra work in to help improve his game. And I like that about him, right? He's a gamer. Put his head down and work, right? He's not about the BS garbage. And he's all about working. He's a grinder, right? He'll be front row in the meeting room. He'll be soaking up all that info like a damn sponge. And I'm sure he'll be right next to Joe Flacco, getting his knowledge and learning from Joe, because Joe has been doing it for a long time, right? And he's also a Super Bowl champion. Just saying. Now, I'm sure Joe Flacco would absolutely love to be usurped by another rookie quarterback, just like Lamar. But honestly, if Shedeur has even a fraction of the success that Lamar has had, it's pretty good, right? Same career arc, You go up against Joe Flacco. You beat Joe Flacco at some point during the season. You take over as starting quarterback. And then if he has anything like the Lamar Jackson career arc, we're in for a fun ride. And then one last little piece here, and I know this has nothing to do with the Browns, but Andrew Berry's tendencies when it comes to players that haven't panned out. Well, he likes to give players second chances, a change of scenery. He loves looking for those players that haven't worked out somewhere that he liked coming out of the draft, and he'll try to give them a second chance. Well, this came from Adam Schefter earlier, and I quote, 49ers are waiving former second-round pick Drake Jackson with a failed physical designation per source. Jackson is still rehabbing a knee injury, but is expected to be cleared by the start of training camp. Now I know what you're thinking. Why would the Browns even consider this? Added depth? Can never have too much depth. And you look at the Browns situation at edge rusher. I mean, you have Miles, you have Isaiah, you have Alex Wright. Of course, you went out and got Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and Julian Okwara in free agency. You have Obo, but I've heard he might get traded. I mean, you need depth for the preseason, right? And besides, again, change of scenery, a chance for him to, if anything, show that he's still got some juice in that tank despite the injury. And if he doesn't make our team, he could always, have a chance to make someone else's. Right? Andrew Berry, he will always try to give players a chance. He loves these kind of guys. Not to mention, the only reason why I'm bringing him up, again, because he was waived. And the Browns have the number 2 slot on the waiver wire. The only team that could beat us out for Drake Jackson, if we wanted him, was Tennessee. And that makes it very interesting heading into waiver claims at the end of the preseason. Because if there are guys that the Browns really, really like, the only team that's stopping them is the Tennessee Titans. Nobody else can stop them from getting guys. So that's the one benefit of being ass last year. You get a high slot on the waiver wire, and you can essentially get whoever the heck you want. Except, Tennessee can beat you, but it is what it is. But we'll see what happens there. But, just another name to add, in the free agent pool, possibly. But, yeah, that's all I got for this one. And I'll be live in about 45-ish minutes, 7:30-ish, for Cavs and Pacers, Game 3. And I got great news. It sounds like the Cavs will be getting Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter back. They did shoot around this morning, and from what I heard, Darius was out at his usual time doing his little routine pregame. So that's a good sign. I just need Evan and Dre to be out there, and we're all set. Let's take game 3 and let's look to tie the series up in game 4, heading back, I think, back to Cleveland. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. As always, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. I'm not going to be doing videos like this every day because Rookie MiniCamp's only a few days. But, if they make any other roster moves, I'll have a video for it. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Browns. I'll see you guys later. I'm out. Bye-bye.